Hey travelers, you're watching Big Ol' Travels. In this episode, we're doing more storm prep. This is Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Um, so yeah. Hey YouTube. It is Tuesday, October 8th. I am wiped out. Work today was completely busy. We ran out of topsoil. We got in more sand. I think we ran out of that as well. Still out of water. We got propane in the morning. We ran out of that as well. So, still out of generators. It's been crazy busy. People last second preparing. Storms should hit tomorrow-ish. We're going to get the outer bands tomorrow. Then I think it really is going to hit Thursday. I'm not sure if I'm going to work tomorrow. It depends on how the weather is in the morning. Yeah. It's going to be... I don't know if it'll be busy tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated. If I stay, I'll show you guys the storm if that hits tomorrow. Yeah. I'm just so wiped out. I've had one hell of a day. I'll show you guys more Weather Channel, and I'll keep you guys updated.
Almost a nor'easter taking shape as we start to see Milton go extratropical. The wind on the backside could be just as strong. 4 a.m. through 2 p.m. on Thursday with those wind gusts possibly, again, 85 to 100 miles per hour. Rain totals between 6 and 10 inches plus. And the farther north and west you live, anywhere from Marion Lake to Sumter County, we could have those rain totals up between 10 and 10 inches and a foot or so, if not higher. Wind gusts at hurricane force strength. Higher possible gusts embedded in some of those thunderstorms, and then we're thinking the worst going to be 11 p.m. through 12 p.m. So it's certainly going to be a rough go at it. Now for our friends across Dixie, Gilchrist, Levy, and Alachua counties, Wednesday at 10 through 12 p.m. Rainfall totaling likely between 7 to 9 inches. There could be some localized amounts higher than that, with wind gusts higher than 60 miles per hour. Tropical storm force for sure, and there could even be some occasional hurricane force gusts. So we're going to continue to monitor all of this, of course. Make sure you stay with us for now. We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you. Well, you are taking a live look right now over I-95 just north of Jacksonville. Lots of traffic as people evacuate because of Hurricane Milton. You're watching Fox 35 News this afternoon, and our live team coverage continues after this short break.
Manny and Luann, well, I can tell you the gas station right adjacent to me just ran out of gas. That's one example of how the people who are choosing to stay here and stick it out are stocking up on those last-minute essentials.
We start with all the critical feeders and customers that we have. Those are, the municipal, the utility customers to make sure that we have power so we can restore power. Hospitals, fire stations, police stations, nursing homes, those types of facilities.
Where I am in Lakeland, Florida, is right in between Tampa and Orlando. This area was hit by Helene just 2 weeks ago, but saw little damage to homes, mostly just flooding and lots of debris. Lakeland is in Polk County. This county has not been asked to evacuate yet, but more than 50 of Florida's counties have. And the line of cars at several gas stations in this area has been very long throughout the day. People tell me grocery stores are crowded and shelves are empty. Schools in this area have been canceled for the rest of the week, and city officials say shelters have begun to open today. Almost all of Florida's west coast is under a hurricane watch right now. The hurricane is expected to make landfall in this area starting Wednesday night into Thursday morning. In Lakeland, Florida, Kennedy Hayes, Fox 35 News.
Kennedy, thank you.
We want to get over to Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergen once again. So, Noah, we're waiting on that new track to come out at the top of the hour. What are you expecting to see?
Category 5, that's number 1. And number 2, it'll be interesting to see the track. Don't have it in yet, but I'm very interested to see what they do with the center line of Milton. So let's talk about what you need to be doing and thinking about. Tonight, if you haven't done so already, everything that's outside should be secured all across Central Florida. Tomorrow, you've got the morning and midday to complete your preps by noon, and then hurricane conditions will be impacting everywhere Wednesday night and Thursday morning. This is in a very favorable spot for intensification. You can see northern Mexico here down in the south, and yesterday that did impact a little bit of the storm. But now notice, if you follow my finger here, watch. See that right there? The last 2 frames there, you see the turn towards us is now starting due east, and now it's moving more northeast. I think we'll see category 5, maybe like 165 or 175 again with the wind, and just northeast with the 5 o'clock advisories. That's what we'll be looking for coming up here in a few minutes. Significant impact, let's just call it what it is for Central Florida. Widespread power loss in some areas, it could be extended, an elevated flash flood risk, and also for tornadoes. So if you missed it earlier, this is the previous cone. Remember, the cone only tells you where the center may go, not the extent of the impacts, which often, and in this case will, extend far from the center. At least as of the 2 o'clock advisory, the center, per the Hurricane Center, going right over Anna Marie Island, going over Manatee, Sarasota County, through Polk, through Osceola, and then exiting the eye, the center. Let's see, this would be Merritt Island, Cocoa Beach, maybe like just south of the Space Center. So basically, AMI to the Space Center is what the track was now, and as soon as I get off this forecast hit, I'm going to try to draw this quick so I can compare this for
So
you.
yeah, right here is where we live.
With just the new one, we'll see, make it easy for you to see how it changed. It'll be interesting to see that. But by 8 in the morning Thursday, category 2 over Central Florida, then 1, the tropical storm as it pulls away. So again, to see those wind gusts, you see 100 sustained to 120, and then pulling away from Florida. Last night, this did set a pretty significant feat. It got down to 897 millibars. That is in the top 5 for most intense hurricanes on this side of the world on record, and that record goes back since 1851. There are some unofficial things earlier than that, but really it's since the mid-1800s. And Wilma, 882. It'll be very interesting to see. This doesn't change the impacts. This is just meteorological stuff here. Does this get more intense than it was last night, which was astronomically intense? It is possible. Now, something I did share last night that got a lot of shares online, I would like to add more context to, is there is a mathematical limit to what Earth's atmosphere can produce. The atmosphere cannot just infinitesimally produce weather. There is a limit. The wind really doesn't get stronger. The pressure, maybe you've seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow where, the helicopters freeze and they fall out of the sky. That's all wrong science. It's actually the opposite of that. But when the atmosphere is compressing and sinking like this in a hurricane, the weight of the atmosphere, it doesn't just keep going like this forever. It reaches a point, and in the case of a hurricane, there is a couple of equations that we use that take into account the ocean temperature and some other things, and say, given the ocean water under ideal conditions, this is a mathematical number of how intense this storm can get. And where it is, it's about 880 millibars. Last night we got to 897, so we were teetering on the top of, mathematically speaking, how intense this can possibly get. We'll see if we get close to that again later this evening. So for Central Florida, tornadoes, several tornadoes are possible to probable. When you talk about tornadoes in a hurricane, they're fast moving, they're fast forming, they're generally EF0, EF1, EF2. I think everywhere we'll see hurricane force gusts at some point Wednesday afternoon, especially Wednesday overnight. It's just a coincidence. Many of you have asked about why is this hitting again at night. It's just a coincidence, but the worst of the weather, I know, yuck, it's going to be when it's dark out, but the worst wind and everything is going to be at night, Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Rain, again, it doesn't rain every hour. Misconception with hurricanes, there will be, especially south of the eye, several periods where it's not raining at all. But the big rain with this one is going to be north of the track, which is right here in the Orlando area, where there will be 6 to 12 inches of rain.
So yeah, isn't until the PM and Wednesday.
Spots, not the majority, but some.
So I'm probably going to work tomorrow.
1.5 feet, 20. We'll see. Depends on how the storms train over the same area. But in terms of a surge, nothing Wednesday morning for us, nothing even Wednesday night for us. It's really Thursday midday that the surge in coastal Volusia and Flagler County will be 2 to 5 feet. And remember how surge is. If you stand on the beach at high tide and you're looking towards the beach this way, that's above the high tide line is what that is, if that helps visualize it. So you take the high tide point, just to make this simple, and then above that, 2 to 5 feet, that's what the surge will be there. And you can see in that purple pink, that's where the threat for flash flooding tomorrow night into Thursday is high from Tampa, the I-4 corridor, up to Daytona Beach. Hopefully we'll get our new advisory in for the next update, and we'll tell you that coming up in a few minutes. Manning, Lou.
Thank you, Noah. We are tracking Milton, and take a look at this, the hurricane as seen from space. NASA astronaut.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, October 9th. I'm not going in today. We have to prepare for this storm because I think it's going to be bad. It's picked up and eyewall small, so it's going to be very strong. And the eye's coming right for us where we are in Rockledge, Florida. And also, I'm not feeling good. I overdid it yesterday because it was so busy. All the people panicking. Work was crazy. So, yeah. I'm going to have breakfast. We're going to board up our family's windows and our windows at our house because they live right next door. We're going to do that. We're going to bring stuff in today. We probably shouldn't have waited this long to prepare, but that's why I'm not going in. I've just been working so much with the storm preparation at Lowe's. I've been putting other people first, and yeah, but it's kind of scary with this storm coming because it's going to be a bad one. They're saying it's the second strongest in history. Because Andrew was a Cat 5 too. This won't be a Cat 5 when it hits us, but it's still going to be bad. So yeah, I will check in with you guys later. Hopefully everybody is safe. If you live in Florida, I hope you're safe. This will probably go up after the storm hits. But yeah, please stay safe. Bye. This is what it looks like Wednesday morning. I'm getting water that we have in the car, and I'm bringing it in to put it in the freezer. So we have frozen water to keep the freezer cold if the power goes out. It's not even starting, it's already blowing pretty hard. We have 2 here, 1 at the bottom, and we have this water freezing right here. So we should be good.
Here, this is kind of where that marina is, right before you get to Siesta Key. Now, most of this area is under a mandatory evacuation order. Yesterday, most people did leave. There are some still here, but yesterday was really the last day to finish those preps. Emergency officials here are urging people in the area to leave because this area will see between 10 and 15 feet of storm surge and flooding.
We don't want people to be trapped in a neighborhood and they're not able to get out because there's flooding. There could be some flooding in homes, especially if it gets up to that 6 feet. So we feel it's safer for you to leave so that you are not able, if you're not able to get out, if you have a need to be able to leave even after the hurricane, it may take a while for the flooding to subside.
Sarasota Public Utilities has already shut off water and sewer to those barrier islands in this area. And this morning, we've been out here since 2 o'clock, and we really haven't seen hardly anyone. It seems like a lot of people did choose to evacuate. Of course, there are still some people here, but as you heard the emergency management officials saying, if you choose to stay and, you know, things are okay for you when you're inside, it might take a while to get out because that flooding is going to take a while to recede, excuse me. So we're going to be out here on the Suncoast all throughout the storm, keeping you updated on the conditions here. Right now, sending back to the studio, reporting live in Sarasota. Megan Mackey, Watch 2 News.
Right, Megan's been moving up and down the coast between, you know, the Tampa area, St. Pete area, and now in Sarasota. We saw the rain following and her loud shot. It sounds like people have listened to the evacuation orders, at least from what she has seen so far, so that is some good news to report. Closer to home here in central Florida, Volusia County could get up to 15 inches of rain and up to 5 feet of storm surge.
Yeah, Watch 2's Bob Hansen is live in New Smyrna Beach this morning. And Bob, we were just talking about the evacuation orders that go into effect this hour. You are in an area where one of those just went into effect.
Yeah, we are right on the evacuation zone. In fact, we're next to a mobile home park along US 1 here in New Smyrna Beach. Back here, you can see mobile homes, a lot of big trees around it. I talked to some folks who do live here, though, and they said that they are not going to be evacuated. They say they've had big storms here before and nothing's happened. No flooding has happened at their park, so they're going to be sticking around for this. But that evacuation order did just go into effect at 8 o'clock this morning. It's everything east of the intracoastal waterway, so the beach side, but also some places to the west. It's all of Zone A, and that includes people living across or along Spruce Creek River and in New Smyrna, everything north of 44 past the Mullinax Ford near Jungle Road. They also
Well, actually, no, we're further south. Yeah, we're not that north.
To clear out. Today, Volusia County also is opening up 7 emergency shelters.
We're down there.
Those are set to open their doors at 9 o'clock this morning. They're at Creekside Middle and University High. Those are for general population. There are also 3 pet-friendly shelters at the Land High, Mainland High, and the Volusia County Fairgrounds. And 2 of them are also special needs shelters at Galaxy Middle and Henson Middle Schools. Those have those healthcare professionals on site to help people out. And the curfew is starting tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. and that will last until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning at the very earliest when that could expire. But again, that evacuation order is now in effect for this Zone A in Volusia County. Reporting live in New Smyrna Beach, Bob Hayes, Watch 2 News.
All right, Bob, thank you. And as we continue talking about evacuation orders, if you are in the Seminole County area, you may have gotten an alert to your phone about an evacuation order going into effect this hour. We are working to confirm with emergency operations staff about that, and we'll confirm as soon as we do on air here as well.
Yeah, and depending on where you are in Orange County, you might have gotten that as well, because we have some coworkers here who got that alert, and they're not physically in Seminole County right now and don't live in Seminole County. So it's interesting to see how that announcement went out. All right, the Biden administration is positioning itself to respond to this hurricane.
Meredith McDonough is joining us now in studio. Mayor, President Biden did approve an emergency declaration for.
Okay, so that was Tuesday and the first part of Wednesday. I have more from Wednesday and then into the storm itself Wednesday night and this morning. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next one. I have another video coming up, so stay tuned.